Happy Friday, July 26th, and welcome to another Car Ride with Keenan. I was listening to a podcast and just been thinking about some stuff and wanted to share it. John 10:10 says that God sent Jesus, and Jesus came to give us life. And he says that he wants to take our burdens because his is light. So we should be happy people if we're Christians because we have that connection with God. We have that life. We have that joy. I do believe that humanity is the pinnacle of creation and that God did create us in his image with a creative and a destructive power depending on how we use it. We have the ability to reason, to think, to change our environment. And he gave us the ability with a soul to know him. That we could spend eternity with God. And then sin entered the world and kind of blew it. And I think when it comes to dating and marriage, we're looking for someone to bring us joy, to bring us life. And I'm really curious, what does that look like for everybody? People say, oh, well, I'm waiting for God's best. What does that mean? Like, are we looking for someone that makes us happy, that makes us feel a certain way, that really gets our, engines going, we really are attracted to them? Are we looking for someone who we know is going to lead us closer to Christ, that's going to sanctify us? And are those things even oppositional? Like, are they more similar than we think? Are we pursuing happiness? Are we pursuing fulfillment? Are we pursuing closer to God? Are we pursuing sanctification? And how are these different? And I think if Jesus came to bring us life, and if the glory of God is man coming alive, and we all have that God-shaped part in us that we're trying to fill with things that are not God. I wonder how far off track we are, I guess. Because I really do believe that God's best is someone that sanctifies us. It's not just someone that makes us happy. I think they will make us happy, but I do think that the true joy comes from our relationship with God. Someone who is going the same direction as us, someone who sanctifies us through their love, through the differences that we have, is going to bring us more joy than someone who just we have that click with and that we pursue because we're pursuing someone who makes us feel a certain way. I think in my own life, the times when I'm happiest, at my best, I'm pursuing God. I am in godly community. Like, that's, people think I'm crazy. I take paid time off to go to church. Like, I need it. And those are the days that refresh me and let me go back to work in an environment that's just crude and dirty. So I guess I'd say, what are we looking for? What should we be looking for? Find someone who loves you, but they love you because they love God. Find someone who pushes you, not physically, not in a negative way, but pushes you to be better. To pursue God. Find someone who tells you the truth, who's honest with you. Find someone who encourages you to pray more, to read more, to seek God more. I think God's created us each with different abilities, different talents, different dreams. And I think someone who encourages you to follow the dreams that God has placed in you is worth a lot. So what does it mean? What is God's best? I think through sanctification we are happier because we are closer to God. We are becoming more like His Son. Sanctification, only part of it is painful. Just like I think Paul says, might have been James, where trials make us tougher. Trials make us more resilient. They increase our faith. So when we think of a trial or sanctification, it shouldn't be in a negative light. It should be seen as an ability to grow. And I'm learning how much more I need to give up to God and how much I need to trust Him with today and tomorrow and next week if I get those. Because to me, it feels easier to trust God with eternity and then try to slog through the day myself, which is trust me, it's a terrible way to live. But I do think the more we trust God, the more we seek God, the more sanctified we become, the more like Christ we become. That's where happiness is. You're not seeking sanctification for happiness to feel a certain way. You're seeking it out of love because we love God, and that's what we want, is a relationship with God. So hopefully this is encouraging. Hopefully everybody's having a good Friday, have a good weekend. And I look forward to hearing whether you think I'm right, whether you think I'm wrong, whether you think I've lost my rocker, What is God's best? Have a good weekend.